Welcome to two examples of writing a product involving sine and cosine as a sum or difference. We'll first write 30 times sine 12x times cosine 7x as a sum, and then we'll write 6 times cosine 21t times sine 20t as a difference. Before we begin, let's review the product to sum trig identities. Here we have the identity for cosine A times cosine B, then the identity for sine A times sine B. And now looking at these last two identities, sometimes you'll see it written as a single identity and sometimes as two. Here we have sine A times cosine B, and here we have cosine A times sine B. Since multiplication is commutative, meaning if we change the order of multiplication, it does not change the product, it's not required to have two identities here, but notice how if angle A is always greater than angle B, then A minus B would be positive. And typically when applying these identities, we want A plus B and A minus B to be positive. But notice if A minus B was negative, we'd have sine negative theta, which using the negative angle identity is equal to negative sine theta. That's the reason why in the second identity, this plus sign becomes a minus sign. But as long as we have angle A greater than angle B, we can go ahead and select which identity to use. So looking at our first example, notice how if x was positive, 12x would be larger than 7x, and therefore we're using the identity where we have sine A times cosine B. Notice here A is equal to 12x and B is equal to 7x, which means 30 times sine 12x times cosine 7x would be equal to 30, the coefficient, times, applying the identity, we'd have 1/2 times the quantity of sine A plus B, which would be 12x plus 7x, or 19x, and then plus sine of A minus B, which would be 12x minus 7x, or 5x. Let's go ahead and simplify this. 30 times 1/2 would be 15. So 15 times the quantity sine 19x plus sine 5x. And we still have a product, so let's go ahead and distribute. We have 15 sine 19x plus 15 sine 5x. We now have the given product as a sum. Looking at the second example, notice how again if t is positive, 21t would be greater than 20t, and that's the reason why we have the cosine function first, and that's the reason why we'll use this form of the product to sum identity. Notice A is equal to 21t and B is equal to 20t. Notice A minus B will be positive 1t. So 6 times cosine 21t times sine 20t would be equal to 6 times 1/2 times the quantity sine of A plus B, or 21t plus 20t is 41t, and then minus sine of A minus B, that would be 21t minus 20t, or 1t, or just t. Now we'll go ahead and simplify. This would be 3 times the quantity sine 41t minus sine t, and finally we'll distribute. So we have 3 sine 41t minus 3 sine t. We have the given product as a difference. I hope you have found these two examples helpful.